Good morning everyone, respected brothers, teachers and dear friends. Today, we the students of class 7A have got an opportunity to speak on the topic Zero Hunger. Every day, too many men and women across the globe struggle to feed their children a nutritious meal. In a world where we produce enough food to feed everyone, about 811 million people still go to bed on an empty stomach each night. Hunger is the leading cause of death in the world. Our planet has provided us with tremendous resources, but unequal access and inefficient handling leaves millions of people malnourished.
SDG 2nd aims to achieve zero hunger. It is one of the Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations in 2015. According to the United Nations, there are around 690 million people who are hungry, which accounts for 10% of the world population. 1 out of 9 people goes to bed hungry each night. The new evidence shows that a specific set of investment is needed to end hunger in ways that also ensures access to safe and nutritious food for all, support sustainable consumption shifts, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, generate decent and dignified livelihoods, and build food resilience for future shocks.
Undernutrition has been on the rise since 2015. This majorly results from the various stresses in food systems that include climate shocks, the low-cost prices, and the COVID-19 pandemic. These threats indirectly reduce the purchasing power and the capacity to produce and distribute food, which affects the most vulnerable population and has furthermore reduced their accessibility to food. Up to 142 million people in 2020 have suffered undernourishment as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Facts and figures. Current estimates are that nearly 690 million people are hungry, or 8.9% of the world population, up to 10 million people in a year, and nearly 60 million people in 5 years. The majority of the world's undernourished, 381 million people, are still found in Asia. More than 250 million people live in Africa, where the number of undernourished is growing faster than anywhere in the world. In 2019, close to 750 million people, or 1 out of 10 people in the world, were exposed to severe levels of food insecurity.
When you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, when you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in rivers, and the tears come streaming down your face, when you lose something you can't replace, when you love someone but it goes to waste, could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
in the world did not have access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food in 2019. 144 million children under the age of 5 were affected by stunting in 2019, with 3/4 living in Southern Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. In 2019, 6.9% children were affected by wasting or acute undernutrition.
How can we contribute to reduce global hunger? Climate smart agriculture. Climate change causes global hunger with more frequent and longer lasting periods, floods and dry spells. Farmers should be trained to practice climate smart agriculture, which allows farmers to adapt and become more resilient to a less predictable climate. These practices include diversifying crop varieties, conservation agriculture practices, and low water sap gardens.
Forced migration is a key cause of hunger. It should be checked. Reducing food wastage. Nearly 1/3 of all food producing is wasted. Ending food waste would be agriculture, but we also practice reducing our own food waste first.
Now we present a short skit.
Good morning, sir.
Is the cake ready?
Yes, sir.
Get it and take our order.
Get 3 burgers,
3 burgers,
3 chilled cold drinks also.
3 chilled cold drinks,
And 3 pizzas with extra cheese.
3 pizzas with extra cheese. Okay, sir. Hey, let's meet Vibhav.
Okay, let's go.
I will also come. Okay. Sir, your orders. Oh, look, he is working there.
Okay, let's wait.
Let's sit here and wait for him. Okay then. Look at them, how they are throwing the cake on each other.
My god, how can they do that?
We don't even get to see a cake.
There is no cheese in these burgers.
I don't like burgers without cheese. These cold drinks are not chilled. I don't like it.
I told her to bring an extra cheese pizza. There's no cheese. We don't like it.
Sorry, sir.
Let's throw everything and go to another restaurant.
We saw that how some people don't get proper food to eat and some people throw away food. We should not waste food and order or serve as much as we can eat. So friends, let's take an oath today that we will help in reducing food wastage.
I can't find my feet. Isn't it lovely? Alone, heart made of glass, my mind of stone. Tear me to pieces, skin and bone. Hello, welcome home.
Hunger has steadily been on the rise prior to the COVID-19, but the pandemic has supercharged these trends, with an additional 130 million projected to be suffering from hunger in 2020 alone. Even before the devastating situation we are currently seeing in India and Brazil. The SDG 2 has aimed to maintain the genetic diversity of seeds, cultivated plants and farmed the domesticated animals by 2020.
SDG 2 target By 2030, double the agricultural productivity and incomes of small-scale producers, in particular women, indigenous people, family farmers, and fishermen, including secure and equal access to land and other productive resources, and input, knowledge, financial services, markets, and opportunities for value addition and non-farm employment. By 2030 ensures sustainable food production systems and implements resilient agricultural practices that increase productivity and production, that help maintain ecosystems, that strengthen the capacity for adaptation to climate change, extreme weather, flooding, drought, and other natural disasters, and that progressively improve soil quality.
This is a story about zero. What if you didn't have enough to eat? What if your life was defined by what you didn't have? More than 800 million people are hungry and undernourished. They live in fear of zero. It's time for us to rethink zero. This is the Zero Hunger Challenge, a comprehensive vision of a world where hunger is ended everywhere, a mission to zero out hunger. In 2012, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon launched the Zero Hunger Challenge, setting the world 5 challenges to end hunger in our lifetime. Sustainable food systems across the globe, zero loss or waste of food, double smallholder productivity and income, access for everyone to adequate food all year round, and zero stunted children less than 2 years old. In a world of plenty, no one should go hungry. But right now, more than 30% of children are malnourished. 1 in 9 people are currently hungry. By 2050, there will be 9 billion people in our world. We must work together to make sure everyone gets the food they need. We will commit to support and empower women to become equal decision makers in their households. When women have equal choices, women and children are better fed. We will improve access to food by partnering to promote small family farms and the infrastructure that serves them, sharing knowledge and experience to sustainably improve land management and productivity. We will work together to minimize food losses during production, storage, and transport, and encourage consumers to reduce waste and make wise choices about what to eat. The 5 challenges have been set. Now it's up to all of us, governments, businesses, civil society, and individuals, to join together to create the most beautiful number. Because when you zero out hunger, the possibilities become infinite.
I, Dhairy Rawal, will now present the SEM news. A cricket academy was inaugurated on Tuesday, the 7th of September 2021 by MLA Sanjeev Arya. V. Vihan Cricket Club Nainital, in association with Brother Hector Pinto, our principal, has started a cricket academy. The playing fields is being provided by St. Joseph's College for this proposed cricket academy. This academy will give good opportunities not only to the students of St. Joseph's College but also other youngsters of the town and nearby areas as well. MLA Sanjeev Arya visited St. Cliffs.
नमस्कार, स्वागत है आप सभी का जेजे न्यूज में। मैं हूं आपके साथ रेनू सुनीता। सेंट जोसेफ कॉलेज नैनीताल के सहयोग से वी विहान क्रिकेट क्लब द्वारा आज एक क्रिकेट एकेडमी का उद्घाटन किया गया। इस एकेडमी के लिए सेंट जोसेफ कॉलेज ने खेल मैदान दिया है। एकेडमी का उद्घाटन नैनीताल विधायक संजीव आर्य द्वारा किया गया। इस क्रिकेट एकेडमी से सेंट जोसेफ कॉलेज के छात्रों को ही नहीं बल्कि नैनीताल शहर और आसपास के क्षेत्रों के सभी युवाओं को मदद मिलेगी। फिलहाल 3 पिचें कॉलेज परिसर के भीतर तैयार कर दी गई है। साथ ही खिलाड़ियों के लिए सक्षम प्रशिक्षकों और कोचों को लाने के लिए तैयारी की जा रही है। अकादमी का उद्देश्य क्रिकेट के साथ साथ खिलाड़ियों को नियमित रूप से शारीरिक व्यायाम और योग शिक्षा देने का भी है। ये क्रिकेट एकेडमी सप्ताह में 5 दिन सुबह 6 बजे से सुबह 9 बजे और शाम 3 बजे से शाम 6 बजे तक चलेगी। साथ ही सप्ताह में एक दिन योग के लिए होगा। 3 सप्ताह में एक बार एक रणजी खिलाड़ी को आमंत्रित किया जाएगा। तो फिलहाल इस खबर में इतना ही। बाकी की खबरों के लिए आप देखते रहिए JJ न्यूज। नमस्कार।
We began with the half-yearly exams on the 13th of September. Our support staff was facilitated to appreciate their contribution in amplifying and improvising the beauty of the school during the pandemic. OBA organized an interactive session. Major General Shiv Jaiswal interacted with the students and shared a lot of information.
Respected Principal, Brother Hector Pinto, my dear friends, teachers, staff, and most of all, young boys and girls of SEM. For me to be back here on stage after 58 years is both a pleasure and also very nostalgic. I have lots of memories of SEM, having studied here for 10 years, 2 years as a day scholar, 8 years as a boarder. I just share 2 incidents that always I remember. Of course, the first one is about corporal punishment. In those days, we used to see a lot of Western movies, and what you now have as the extended auditorium, that was short, and that's where the movies were screened from. And Reverend Brother Burke was the one who would show us the movies. So there are a lot of Westerns, and you do that firing and there's that sound of ricocheting bullets. So we could imitate that by whistling. Loud whistle, 1 finger, 2 fingers, that can, and without using your fingers, loud whistle. So I was also learning that during study period in the evening. I was trying to whistle. It was quite short, nothing would happen. But suddenly the silence was broken by a piercing whistle, and all eyes were on me. The principal, Reverend Brother Morsi, he shouted, "Who is that? Chokra boy." I mean, one couldn't avoid that. So I was called up. He had his cane with him. I got 4 solid whacks on the behind, and for about 5 or 6 days, I couldn't sit comfortably. So those were those days. Another thing that I always remember is when we came back after beating Sherwood or after winning a match on the flats, the juveniles. I was fortunate to have represented SEM in the juveniles. Prem was also there with me. And then in the courts, both hockey and football, seniors hockey and football, and I represented SEM in the relay team. And every time we beat Sherwood, it used to be something. We would enter the dining hall and to a resounding reception from everybody in the school, banging of forks and knives, and we really felt like great heroes those days. So those are 2 things which I embedded in my mind. Of course, there are many others, but these 2 things I thought I'd mention to you.
At last, we would like to thank our principal, Brother Hector, for encouraging us to present this online assembly. Our thanks to Dr. Tiwari for helping us in editing and compiling the videos, and Sumit sir for shooting the entire assembly. Now we end our assembly with our college anthem.
Heard of many a school I trod, and many a college too. But there is one that always is the best for me and you. This Burton Annie's lovely lake, and our dads were there of old. For a century and more 'tis known as the home of the true and bold. For a century and more 'tis known as the home of the true and bold. Was called at first the good old Sam, and later SJC. And here a place cannot be found, at least for you and me. These boys are hard to beat, my friend, in classroom with no flame. Their motto down the years has been, make sure to play the game. Their motto down the years has been, make sure to play the game. And here's to the boys of SJC, to a children every man. And pass the word to those who come, give the motto of the clan. And down the years to fight life's fight, to fight its clean and deep.